Next up at UFC Des Moines, we have Don'Tale Mayes taking on Thomas Petersen. Thomas Petersen spells his name with all E's, and that's a little tricky, but he is 9-3 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that finished loss to Shamil Gaziv. He's taking on Don'Tale Mayes, 11-8 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He is riding back-to-back grappling losses, and those losses and how he lost play very much into why this line looks the way it is. Because Don'Tale is a pretty good boxer. He's got heavy hands. He's got decent footwork. He'll set up his combinations well. He'll move forward 100% of the strikes that he throws, has 100% effort into it. He throws everything with massive power, leg kicks, overhands, all of it. He's not really a wrestler. He does have some takedowns of his own, 7 to be exact in the UFC, but he doesn't really defend takedowns as well. Most recently, he was taken down and submitted in less than a minute. He's taking on Thomas Petersen. Thomas Petersen is a solid wrestler. He'll work from bear hugs to shooting doubles. His striking is not fantastic, but he'll close that gap with some straights, a couple of bombs, march forward, try to get you to the clinch cage, and then drag you to the ground. He's busy in the clinch. If he cannot take you down, especially in this fight, he is going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's coming off that KO loss to Shamil Gaziv where he had a takedown, and it was like, oh, shit. And then he couldn't keep it on the ground. It got to the feet. Things did not go well for him there. And this is a pretty straightforward breakdown. If Thomas Petersen gets the takedowns, he wins this fight. Simple. And if he doesn't, he gets smoked on the feet. I do think he gets the takedowns. Therefore, I think he wins. The one point of concern, though, is I don't do the Instagram research per se, right? I don't deep dive Instagram looking for things specifically. I don't go nuts, right? What I do, though, is post all of these graphics to Instagram. And I tag the fighters. I got to find their Instagram handles. And when I was posting this one to Thomas Petersen's, that dude is still working a normal-ass union job. And I get it. UFC doesn't pay what it needs to pay for you to not have a union job with health benefits. So by all means, he's doing the right thing. But it does bring in the question, like, what's the training look like? When are you getting the hours in? What's going on there? Betty, Sammy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, in reference to the Instagram deep dive and research here, Thomas Petersen, Don'Tale Mayes. Don'Tale Mayes trained at, I believe it was John Jones camp, if it wasn't done at Albuquerque, New Mexico. And honestly, it doesn't show at all. He's out there. He's huge. He's clearly an athletic, large gentleman. But the fact that he's been heel hooked twice in the heavyweight division alone shows you that he hasn't rounded out his skill set. His ground game is clearly not where it needs to be. And not only did he get heel hooked, but against Walter Walker in his last showing, he got heel hooked so fast and he tapped immediately. He didn't really hunt for any way out of the submission. And so that just shows to me that there is a huge deficit in the ground here. And Thomas Petersen's best aspect is his ground game and his ground and pound and whatnot. And, you know, Don'Tale Mayes being 6'6", you know, an enormous individual, that only becomes more difficult to get up off the ground. Gravity for the large gentleman is not their friend. Thomas Petersen, though, I would love him at this price if he just showed a little bit more advancement in his physique. You know, I would like to see him clean up his diet, come in here a little bit more in shape, because then I would know that he has the energy and the output to be able to reshoot and keep shooting takedowns if he starts to get in trouble here. But if Don'Tale Mayes gets on top of him after a poor striking exchange, I could see him also finishing the fight. Ultimately, I'm steering clear of it, but picking a side, it would be Thomas Petersen because that grappling gap is just huge. So,
yeah, it ultimately is going to come down to the grappling. I don't know why you had to body shame the guy. I don't know what the hell he did to you. He is a professional athlete, and you're wearing a Superman
doesn't
shirt.
Look like it. You know?
Very different people living very different lives. But yeah, let's call the guy fat and say he needs to do a couple sit-ups. The reality is, I agree. It is going to come down to the wrestling, but it's not wild if the exact same thing happens in this fight that happened in Thomas Petersen's last fight. Literally, the exact same thing could happen. Get a quick takedown. Somehow there's a scramble. Dante's back on his feet, lights him up. I mean, that's very possible. It's not like Thomas has this like wild granite chin that can't be touched. If that was the case, then it's like, yeah, he'll deal with some chaos, eventually get it to the ground, and I'd be all in on him. He can be put out. Don'Tale Mayes hits hard enough to put people out. So a couple concerns there. I wish we had better odds than -250. We'll see what later in the week looks like. $8,900 in DraftKings Fantasy. Again, similar to what we just said with Ivana Petrovic. If she gets the he gets the takedowns, gets the control, potentially a finish on top, all of a sudden he's going to score really well. But now we're creeping into expensive territory here. We only have 12 fights on this card, so have to be a little more selective. We don't quite have as many options. Thomas Petersen, $8,900. I'm undecided, but definitely not throwing Dontel in there at 73. If you do want to check out what the artificial intelligence has to say, yes, we have a full-blown AI that is picking fights based off historical data. It is constantly learning. It's a neural net. I don't know. The guy who developed it will tell me. I think it's a neural net, whatever the hell, which means there are hundreds of individual simulations, and then they all simulate together, and then they simulate, and then the artificial intelligence learns from it. I don't know what the hell it means, but it's been picking at a pretty solid accuracy. You can check that out now, along with everybody else's picks and bets on the website. Just go to wewantpicks.com. It's fucking $10. It's $10. If you sign up and you hate it, cancel. You're out $10. If you love it, as most people do with well over 4,000 premium members, it's the best value you will ever get in this space. WeWantPicks.com. Joe said he wants to do the Misha Tate fight, so we'll do that. Nothing creepy, Joe. Okay? Keep it together.